Okay, let's get through all this stuff because I have a few things I want to say. And I'm going to tell you, there isn't a lot here. There isn't. The most important things was what happened with Randy Orton and CM Punk. Everything else was just okay to good. Now, I'm going to make this clear right now before I start. If you watch this show, it was good. It wasn't incredible, but it was good enough that most of what was there was not boring. You would not be annoyed with it. You will like some of it easily. Easily will like some of this show. Other people, I know they're not going to like it because either they hate WWE, but I'll leave it at that because of what I'm going to say at the end of this review. We got a turmoil match for the number one contendership for the tag titles. We open with Alpha Academy versus DIY. And it's not Chad Gable and Otis. It is Akira Tozawa and Otis. And I can't believe that it was... What? It was Michael Cole that said Otis now has put Akira Tozawa under his wing and he's teaching him. Really? If you're going to be honest, it should be the other way around. Akira Tozawa has been wrestling way longer than Otis has. And I think he could be teaching him something. But as the first two who started a turmoil match for their teams, it was DIY that won. I didn't expect Akira Tozawa and Otis to get very far. I didn't. Did the worm from both of them look good? No, Akira Tozawa did not look good doing the worm. But I will give him credit. He is trying. Let's make this clear with Akira Tozawa, who I still believe should just leave the company. Because as it stands, all he does is comedic work now. He's not doing anything substantial. He's not doing anything that has substance. He's just comedic jokes. Look, when Xavier Woods keeps saying, "Oh, Akira, you nasty," for just going like this. What does that tell you? Akira Tozawa should just leave. Because he may be getting this, but is he enjoying it? Now, if he is, more power to him. But if he's not, what's the point of staying somewhere that may give you this, and the only thing you're being recognized for is next to your wrestling? I'm just saying. Next, Elin Cher, which we have not seen for quite a while. Either they've been sitting in the back or some people got hurt. They had a little bit of Jinder Mahal come out with them, but they went out to the ring and completely decimated DIY. I was not surprised. But I forgot who it was. Who is, I forgot. I haven't remembered their names in so long. I don't think it's, Tier. I believe it's the other guy, the taller one. He looked like he's been sitting in the back so long, he gained a belly. Because he used to look a lot slimmer. At 6'5" and 300 pounds, he had more abs and he looked a lot more skinnier in his belly. It didn't look like... that's what he looks like now. But that's just me. Then we get the Creeds coming out. They're number 4 out of the 6 teams. And they won. Not surprised. Then we get New Day coming out and dancing around. And they did not make it. Also, I'm not surprised. But once I saw that it was Imperium left with the Creeds, I knew it was going to be the Creeds. Because Imperium right now is more wrapped up in Giovanni Vinci having a problem with Ludwig Kaiser. Seeing if they can continue to coexist while Gunther is trying to make sure they stay on the path, which they're not. I don't understand who is coming up with the decision to break up Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. I don't know why. I'm not telling you that these guys are the greatest when it comes to all around being pro wrestlers. I'm not. It's not about their accents or anything. It's just they never really had any character development much. They just are part of Imperium that is part of Gunther. They've never really had much development. And this is the most development either one of them has had in who knows how long, but does it have to be in this situation where they're trying to break them up? I'm just saying. Now, also Gunther got Miz face to face. And he gave Miz his props. He did. But he made it clear to Miz that even though now you can say that you do belong in that ring, does not mean you need to belong in the ring with me. And that was after The Miz says, I want a rematch. Because you said, I'm looking to see my next challenger. Takes off the glasses. I'm right here. I'm right here. You know what I want? This is me personally when it comes to The Miz. I would love it that if Miz... Let me give it to you like this. If Ludwig Kaiser gives... No, not Ludwig Kaiser. You know what? If he starts something with Ludwig Kaiser and also Giovanni Vinci, he's got to go for each one of them to get back to Gunther. Gunther should do a stipulation saying, if you want to face me, you will never get another shot at this title again as long as I'm champ. But also, you'll not be known as The Miz anymore. You'll be known as Michael Mizbin. If you lose to me. That will be something interesting. Let's make it clear. If they have him go through all that to get back to him, like he goes through Kaiser, he goes through Giovanni Vinci, and he gets back to Gunther. Gunther has two stipulations. One, you want to face me? Fine. There are two things I want. One, if I win, you don't get another shot at the title. And he says, fine. But what's the other one? Simple. Because I want a real wrestler in this ring. You can no longer be known as The Miz. You will be known only as Michael Mizbin. Think about it for a minute. He is known as The Miz. He is not known as Michael Mizbin. This is about him losing what it meant to be an A-lister. That's what I think he really needs. At this point, The Miz has remade himself multiple times, so many times, using The Miz as his moniker. Take that away. Strip it away from him. What do you got? You got Michael Mizbin. He's saying, if you're going to continue, fine. But if you lose, two things. One, you lose your chance to ever try again as long as I'm champ. And two, no more Miz. You will be Michael Mizbin. That means your music is gone and your name is gone. You will come out as Michael Mizbin. You will not dress up as Michael Miz other than Michael Mizbin. Not The Miz. Not in the clothes. Not in the suits. You will come out like a regular wrestler. That's what I'd love to see for him. But that's just me. I know that's not going to happen. Okay, let's get this over with. Nia Jax versus Zoe Stark. Did you actually think it was going to be anything other than her losing and Nia winning? I really didn't care. I'm going to tell you this. I'm saying this honestly. Do I hate Nia Jax? No. But I made it very clear quite a while ago that I'm not having an issue against the woman herself. She's probably a sweet woman in real life, even though she's a little quirky because of what happened during the pandemic. And she said, no injections and nothing. That's garbage. It's not real. And I think she got sick. I'm not chewing her out, but that's just some people's decisions. But as it comes as a pro wrestler, I have many issues with her, particularly injuring her opponents. She's injured. She injured Becky by breaking her nose. She injured, I believe, Sasha at least once. She injured Bayley at least once. I believe she injured Athena at the time, Ember Moon. She actually hurt R-Truth and more than a few other women. She has not changed her ring style. Her ring style is still the same. I do believe she's very sloppy in the ring. And I would either rather she go and get better training or not wrestle. Because I don't want her hurting somebody. Look, you look at her in the face. She's a beautiful woman. It's understandable why she became a model. Because she became a full-figured model before she became a wrestler. But I'm telling you right now, as beautiful as she is physically, I mean, just because she's thick doesn't mean she ain't beautiful. Because I saw what Miss Universe and Miss Nepal. I don't know why people are chewing her out. I'm not a Miss Universe fan. I don't care about women in bikinis and pageants and stuff. But I found out through one person, a VTuber I watch, Vexoria, the Sun Eater. I know what VTubing. Yes, I watch VTubing. Remember, I used to, and I'm trying to get back and doing animation again. I watch VTubing. But she said she's beautiful, which she damn hell is. That woman, Miss Nepal, I believe Miss Nepal, is gorgeous. And they said that she looked wrong. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? But the point is, going back to Nia, she's physically not an ugly woman. She got a nice ass, nice pair of tits, a pretty ass face. But that takes away from what she does in the damn ring. It's not about her mic skills or her charisma. It's about her ring work that I'm very concerned with, that sooner or later she's going to hurt somebody if she's not careful. Let's move on. Dominic Mysterio versus a Randall Keith Orton. Now let's get this clear in the very beginning. I thought CM may come out in the beginning of the show. He did not. They let Randy do it, which I'm glad. In fact, I'm more interested in seeing what Randy Orton was going to say than CM Punk was going to say. Not taking anything was going to be said, because I know he was going to say something. But this is about Randy Orton. If CM Punk didn't show up, it was going to be only about Randy, guys. Understand. We only had Randy Orton. We still didn't know if CM Punk was going to come. We did figure it was possible he could show up at Survivor Series. And everybody thought it might be on Royal Rumble, but it was either going to be one or the other. We knew it was one of them. And if just Alex or JD thought he wouldn't show up, I'm kind of surprised they didn't think it's either one or the other. There's people had the same thought. But it was going to be Randy Orton. So I wanted to know what he was going to say. And he was over. And he made it very clear how much he loved doing this business. How much he missed doing it. And also about the bloodline. He's not done with them. And that was telling, particularly once Rhea Ripley came out. And she did. Rhea came out. Made it very clear, Randy, we know what's going on. We know you got called because of your friend and everything, but recommend you understand the landscape has changed and things are different now. And Randy, for his part, and I know Randy, let's make this clear. He's never been great on the mic. Admittedly, before he left, he seemed to have gotten better. And if you've seen the Drunken Skull sessions, no, not Drunken Skull. Well, pretty much they do drink on the skull. When it comes to Steve Austin, Broken Skull sessions, he does drink there. So Drunken Skull is pretty much accurate. Randy Keith Orton did say that he decided to really try to work on his craft when it comes to his promos, because he's never been good at it. And in doing his character, he's never good at it. It was always about him, and he learned more about trying to make it about others. And here, you can feel it. Because when he started talking and said, I know what's been going on. I've been watching the show. I've been seeing you dominate. And I can see that mommy has always been the one there. But guess what? Daddy's home. I'm not going to tell you. I didn't like that. And hearing the chant, Daddy's home, who's your daddy? I'm not going to tell you that I didn't enjoy it, because I did. I did enjoy it. Now, is it something that's cliche? Of course it is. But is it done well enough to get over? Hell yeah, in Nashville, Tennessee it did. So it worked for me. And seeing that she told him, gave you your shot to get out of it, but now you're in it, you're going to be our focus. And you see JD McDonough and Dom come at him. And this is where I get nervous. I'm sorry. I'm sure everyone else is fine with this. If he can do it, I'm still going to be nervous. Guys, he had double spinal fusion. 2 vertebrae in his back have been permanently fused. Not 1, but 2. And like I said in my review for Survivor Series, the guy was recommended not to go back to wrestling again, because it would be harder for him older he gets. But he loves wrestling so much he decided to come back. In this show, he did, 3 RKOs? 3. Did he do 2 or 3? I think, no, he did 2 in this show and 1 in Survivor Series. So far, he's done 3. And this set up the match later in the night, because he said, I'm coming after you, Dominic Mysterio. But I kind of wonder why he didn't go after, medicine I took. Oh, just in case you guys know, I'm still taking my medicine for when I was sick. So if you hear me belch, that's part of the medicine. But I wonder why he wasn't trying to go after the North American Championship. I think it would be interesting for him to get it. I honestly think if he got the North American title, if they cared so much about NXT, seeing that he became a champ, and still goes to Raw and still holds that for a little while, not long, just a little while, it would help NXT. I'm not saying he should, I'm just saying if that's all they care about. Then we get the match. Not really bad, it was fine. It wasn't a bad match. I did get nervous once he got slammed into the steps. Not getting hit in the back, but getting hit into the steps with his shoulder. Look, he's known to have shoulder injuries more than a few times and broke his collarbone. And now, with that double spinal fusion, makes me nervous. I'm always going to be nervous about him unless I really feel comfortable saying, okay, he's safe. But I'm going to keep saying it. I worry about him. I'm that type of person, I care. He won his match, I'm not surprised. But now, where does he go from here? Is he going over to Raw? I mean, not going over to Raw. Is he going over to SmackDown? Because he made it very clear. He wants the bloodline. And just like what happened before the match, when Jay approached him and said, look, I know what happened. It was wrong what happened back then. I wish to apologize. I had to learn that you need to put stuff in the past. And he said, and this is Randy, he says, look, I watched you. I know you tried your best to get straight. And you have. So we good. As long as you're not part of the bloodline, we good. He says, I'm not. He says, we square. And they shook hands. Yeet. Fine. So you don't have to worry about, at least at the moment, Jay getting destroyed by Randy Orton. At least for the moment. Let's make this clear. This is still the fucking Viper. There is no way that sooner or later, Mr. Viper is going to, if you've ever heard the adage of the frog and the scorpion stinging the frog on the back when they're trying to cross a rainy lake or pond, crossing a pond when it was raining. Pretty much, we're going to get that eventually. He will go after Jey Uso. It's going to happen. It's just going to take a while before he switches. That's just it. Seth Rollins. Let me make it clear. Did I enjoy the segment with Seth Rollins dealing with Drew? Yes. I felt it was time for it to happen. Now, Seth made it very clear he's going after his next challenger. And then Drew comes out and he shakes his hand, say, congratulations on winning, and a wish to tell you, you were right. Crown Jewel, you said this loss will help me. You were right. It was my fault. I blame myself. I had a chance to win. I had a chance to destroy you. I couldn't do it because I thought about you as a father and as a man caring about your family. I couldn't pull the trigger. You were right. I was not there. And now I've learned all compassion's gone. I'm done. I want that damn title. I respect you, but I want it. And he said, fine, but someone else is in front of you. You have to wait until afterward. And when he told him that was Jay, he exploded on him, headbutted him, and actually did headbutt him because he cut his skull. Well, scalp. He got bloody in the face. That was a real headbutt, guys. That was no fake one. When he hit him, he started bleeding, a little spot on his face. That means he legitimately did it. He really wanted to make that mean something. And afterwards, once Jay came out and saved a Seth Rollins, and he's holding the title just to know that he's going to get a chance to go against it, Sammy, trying to talk sense to him, which didn't work. Even though he told him, you're a giant, you're a two-time champion, you are acting like a bitch, like a spoiled brat, a bitch, basically. You need to stop. You're better than this. And he says, you're right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a match and it's going to be with you. Pretty much he's saying, oh, you're going to oust me like that? Fine, bitch. I'm going to come after you. You're next. So we'll get that next week. So finally, the Punk segment comes out to a huge fanfare. No way he didn't. I knew he was going to come out loud. And he did. And let's make this clear. Hearing that 70 million people saw the clip of him coming back, another 20 million on another video, can't take nothing from him. His talk was very poignant. He said, I'm home. Finally. After all this time, it's corny, but I'm home. But I had to leave because of problems. And he did mention a little bit of Paul Heyman, since he is a Paul Heyman guy. Do I believe he did a good job here? Of course he did. Look, it's CM Punk. He didn't botch. He talked very well. Now, the thing I was wondering was, will he say something about AEW or not? Now, unfortunately, my app started buffeting. So one part of it was out for about a minute or so, maybe a minute and a half to 2. So I missed some of it. So as far as I know, he did not say anything about AEW and the other company and saying that they're garbage or something. I don't think he did that. For most part, what I saw, didn't really mention them. He mentioned that he's been away. He mentioned that the people never forgot him, which they never did, so he didn't lie about that. And they kept him in his mind, and that meant something to him. Hell, everything he said was true, because AEW wouldn't have gone crazy if they hadn't cheered for CM Punk. Let's be honest. He's that over. He made it clear that I know there's going to be people in this company that are not going to be happy. I know people in here is going to be annoyed with me, and they're going to be mad that I'm going to be possibly taking their spot. And he made it very clear. There is nobody better than me. I am the best in the world in this ring, outside this ring, on commentary. On the mic, I am the best. There has not been anybody that has compared to me, which he's not lying. And he said, that's the most important thing. Next to I'm home, he said, I'm here not to make friends. I'm here to make money. And that was at the end when they were going blank. Guys, this was just before camera turned off. He said, hiya, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That was poignant. Because this is what it comes down to for me personally. Look, guys. If you haven't seen my Gump report, because I did speak about it, CM Punk was offered money from Impact Wrestling / TNA. He was offered money. They were expecting him to show up at Bound for Glory. I don't know if JD's going to talk about it. I don't know if just Alex. They probably won't. It doesn't really matter about what's going on with Impact as far as they're concerned. Not because they hate it. It's just not worthy news talking for them. It's not enough. It doesn't bring in the views. So they barely talk about it. But Impact did offer him a substantial amount of money. Of course, like I said in my review, maybe 6 to 8 million, maybe. WWE, 10 and up. Let's make it clear. He's going to be worth over 10 million and more. I think at least 10, 12, 15 million dollars. Counting on how they're going to spread it out for the amount of years in his contract, which could be 2 years, could be 3 years. I don't know. I don't think he signed a 5-year deal. I don't think he would do that. But that's just me. I think he will sign a 2 or 3 year deal similar to Edge. That's what I think he would do. And it's going to depend if he's going to have limited amount of days working in WWE, and will he have creative control? That is going to be the biggest. This is the biggest thing. Like what happened in AEW, there's no freaking way he's going to sign with WWE and have whatever dates he wants to take off or needs, and 2, creative control, baby. He's gonna want it, and he's got it. There's no way he's just gonna go there and just say, okay, you can do whatever the hell you want to me. Well, that's one of the problems he had. It's because whether you like him or not, if you think he's a piece of shit or not, he drawed. He did. People loved him. And the key here is he didn't have control. He couldn't get what he wanted done. So now he's going to have probably more creative control. Maybe not total creative control of his character, but way more than he ever did when he had done it in a decade ago. So now, this is what we got. A situation where CM Punk, where there may actually be people in the company, and I know JD said this is all work because people knew ahead of time before he came out. Look, let's make this clear. And this is what JD's not saying. I'm saying it. No matter, even if you tell people they're coming, do you actually believe they're going to be happy about it? No. Being told ahead of time that someone's coming in that you really don't like does not mean you stop hating them. It's just now you're going to have to make a decision. Either just to deal with it and to work with that person, or sooner or later, you're going to voice your opinion. Either leave, like some people might do it, or you're going to have some type of conflict with them. And the key is going to be, can these people work with him? The few that's going to be having an issue. Because everybody there wants to do this. They want this. This is what it all comes down to. This. Yes, to entertain, but it's still this. Like Akira Tozawa. If he's still in a contract, but he could have just left, he's staying because either he loves WWE or it's this. And just like CM Punk said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That's what the deal is here. So we have no idea what's going to happen in the next year, because this is where it's going to get interesting. The next year is going to be interesting, guys, because this is the first coming year of Triple H really having a lot of control, if he's having control compared to Vince being there. The question is going to be, what is Punk going to be booked like? Will he do every day type, well, not every day, but every show, like every Raw or every SmackDown, every PLE, whatever? Is he going to be there all the time, or is he going to have a limited schedule? No matter what anybody says, as far as I know, no one knows that yet. We don't know if he's having a limited schedule or not. Is it going to be like Logan Paul? Is it going to be like Roman Reigns? I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But we will find out. Peace. And I hope my audio is working, because the audio messed up before. As far as I can tell, everything's working. But if it's not working and I can't correct it, I'm sorry.